Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 1313 podcast, the most mediocre podcast in the Star Wars universe. I'm Jacob.
I'm Tommy.
No, Jackson. He's in Hawaii now, and he's just getting settled, so he's not joining us today. But welcome back to all you Regs, to all you Shinies. Welcome to the podcast. This is the podcast. Please, before we begin, leave a like, leave a comment, hit that join button, hit that Patreon up to be in that 1313 Gungan boss tier. Follow us on all of our social media, that being Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Twitch, and make sure to join the Discord. So, this week in Star Wars, we're gearing up for Acolyte.
Yes.
Lots
They've been
and
dropping
lots of
some
trailers.
clips, behind the scenes, trailers, actually marketing the show way better than I've seen them market most other shows.
They're going hard in the paint. We saw a lightsaber whip for the first time.
Looking good. It's a purple one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it is very neat looking. I'm super excited for Acolyte now, especially I want to go see it in theaters.
Yeah. Have to do
So,
that.
That'll be really cool.
Yeah, and I'm wearing shades today because I need to hide my tears from our missing droid. We do not have designation JX0N with us today. So
JXN.
Jackson, I know you're gonna be watching. I love you. I miss you.
Will
you.
he be watching?
Sending hugs and kisses internationally, even though Hawaii is still in the Navy. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you go.
Not a whole lot going on in life this week for me, except I got a dog. So if you want to go see my dog, he's outside of the stew right now playing with Blackjack and Rocky. So if you hear any barking during this recording, just know it's because the boys are outside being the boys. So if you want to go check him out, check out my Instagram, 1313 Tommy. You can go see. I posted pictures of him. He's been my ever waking moment for the last week now, and I love him so much. And don't worry, guys. Even though I'm a dog parent now, I do have a ton of reviews recorded, a ton of reviews I have to record, and I have like 8 things in my big bad pile of loot right now. So there's still gonna be content rolling. I just gotta get the content out. So,
and I got one more week here until I move. So you might get one more episode of Tommy and I together in the same place before I'm out, before you start getting tons of Disney content and things geared towards that. Stay tuned for things like TikToks and shorts that are themed around the parks.
So follow us on the TikTok.
Oh, dude, I looked up the costume that I have to wear. It is awful.
Oh, no.
Did not mean to.
Parking costume.
Dude, get ready for this. This is what I have to wear. Isn't that awful?
What is this Curious George costume?
I know.
You in, dude?
That's awful. So
I feel like I'm about to see you and go, who's to say what's impossible but they forgot?
Yeah, so I'm not super happy about that.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I got 1 week until I'm down there. You probably will never see me wearing that. Ooh, I can see the dogs going.
They still running?
Yeah, they playing and stuff. But
Blackjack bodied Cody. Because Blackjack is like a 70-pound dog?
Yeah.
And Cody's like 30 pounds. That's as big as he's ever going to get. But Cody is also a lab like Blackjack is. So Cody thinks he's the size of Blackjack. And Blackjack thinks Cody's the size of him. So it's very funny to watch them bonk into each other.
Yeah, that was really fun. Also, if you haven't noticed already,
oh, whoop-bam!
So going up probably about the same time this episode is, there's a unboxing of, this is from Commander Cook. Thank you so much, dude, for this 1313 hot toy. We told him this is Lieutenant Lag. We told him to go crazy. And yeah, just check out the unboxing video to see us geek over it at 1 a.m.
Yeah. And then also make sure you check out Commander Cook's video where he did like his
how he made it.
Yeah. And also I just gotta point out, everyone all of a sudden after 1313 got Legion Black Series figures. All of a sudden everyone had Legion Black Series. I can't wait to see who's the first to copy us in the Hot Toys game.
Yep.
And ask Cookie himself for a hot toy of their clone Legion. So
it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Cut that royalty check to us after you get it in. But so there's been a discussion ongoing since 1977. Well, I guess past that on what Star Wars is the best.
Ooh.
And I can guarantee we're going to hurt your feelings today.
For sure.
Because Tommy and I will be ranking every single Star Wars project thus far, with the exception of Tales of the Empire, but we'll just throw that in there on our own.
Yeah.
But we have everything from the movies to TV to the holiday special to droids and Ewoks. We got it all.
Yeah, we do.
So we will be ranking everything S through F. And if you disagree with us, you're wrong.
I feel like we're going to have some hot takes here as well.
And feel free, if you just go to Star Wars tier list, it's the first thing that comes up on Google. This is already pre-made, so everybody can access it. I've posted it, so you can save and download your stuff when it's done. Go make your own tier list, throw it in the Discord, and let's see where everybody else stands on this.
And make sure to comment on our YouTube version what your ranking was, what you think we got wrong. Make sure to tell us how stupid and fat and ugly we are for being wrong in our ranking, and tell us that either we're woke if we like the new stuff, that we're old heads if we like the old stuff. Make sure to be a hater. Get us in that algorithm. Give me those comments.
So I don't know if you want to start at the bottom of this with some of like the animated stuff and shows and make our way to the movies. You want to do the movies in order? Do we want to like pick chronologically as things happen?
I feel like if we go backwards through the list, I feel like we'll have more discussion as we get through the movies, but also I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care however you want to do this.
Okay. I say we start at the bottom.
Yeah. Forces of Destiny, F. I've never even watched the full show. I know that there's like tiny little insignificant lore bits with characters. It was in that weird time where I didn't really watch Star Wars either. I wasn't really into it. So.
Yeah, I've watched it pretty much in its entirety, and it's, for what it is, it's good.
Yeah.
It's just more geared towards a younger audience, and there are some pretty cool stories in there with Padme, with Hera, with Sabine, are some of my favorite ones. And it's Ashley Eckstein reprising her role. It's pretty much all our voice actors that we know and love reprising their roles. It's a little bit more Star Wars con. I went through and I binged it all in a day, and I was just like, it was all right. So I'm just going to leave it at F.
Yeah, I think F is good for that one.
Young Jedi Adventures, F.
Young Jedi Adventures is also, a lot of the same reasons. I feel like, it's a kid's show. It's made for like 6-year-olds. It's made for kids that suck their thumbs. If you like the show, you suck your thumb. That's what can I say.
It's made for Goo Goo Gaga babies. And riddle me this. Yoda is like, a task. Give it to toddlers, I will. It's like, I don't understand. There's lots of parts in it that just don't make a lot of sense. But it's not for me. It's for little kids.
Yes, yeah.
So I'm not going to cry and complain about it.
Gaga.
I'm not going to, it's.
I want milk.
So next up, we got Visions.
So,
this one is up for discussion.
Haven't watched Visions 2 in its entirety still. Fake fan.
Oh my gosh.
But Visions 1 is a masterpiece in my opinion. Now, I think we also need to say, how are we ranking this? Are we ranking this on our enjoyment, or are we ranking on like what we think is an objective, like best Star Wars to worst Star Wars?
I think we have to keep things a little objective, but we're going to have our personal biases in it. I'm not going to put this anywhere near A tier or B tier. I think this is a solid D or a C.
I would give it, anything else that goes in C should go above this, but I think it's a good middle of the road, you know?
So I think D's.
Yeah,
D's
top of D.
And it's not because we don't like it.
No.
It's just because there's a lot better stuff.
So much better stuff. So
Tales of the Jedi.
You guys know, I'm not really a huge fan of Tales of the Empire, but as far as Tales of the Jedi goes, I'm a huge fan of Tales of the Jedi.
Let's lump the Tales together.
Let's do that.
Because I liked Tales of the Empire. I thought it was very good.
And honestly, if I were to put both together, I think that Tales of the Jedi raises up what I don't like about Tales of the Empire. Like when I still think about that little micro series, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. Like especially the Dooku stuff. The Dooku stuff is something that I've always wanted to see in more than just a book, where you had Dooku Jedi Lost. Those couple episodes they did on Dooku were just chef's kiss, and because of that, I think it's deserving of C. Because there's so much stuff that's better.
I'll do a C.
Yeah.
I'll do a C on it. I really enjoyed Again, seeing Dooku murk Yaddle, very cool. So we know what happened to Yaddle.
Yeah. Why Yaddle gone when you get to Attack of the Clones?
Young Qui-Gon. The tying in of like what's happening at the same time as Phantom Menace.
I think my favorite scene is when Dooku is like after Qui-Gon's dead and he's standing at the tree and talking about how Qui-Gon was born on Coruscant and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That is probably my favorite scene out of the whole show. Mm-hmm. I love the dialogue in that. It's perfect.
I also love the tie-in with the Ahsoka novel that we get with the end of her being called Ashla and living with these farmers. Granted, it kind of decanonizes the book in some ways, but that's okay because Filoni's
been on a hot streak.
And he's getting real close with the Thrawn books. He's getting
after the 90s, I kind of blacked out on the books and nothing else really matters.
Yeah, so Filoni, please don't do it to me. Next up, we have probably one of the most controversial Star Wars movies, Solo.
We've talked so much about Solo on this show, and I feel like every time we talk about it, we're defending why it did bad.
It's not a bad movie.
No, it's a fun shoot 'em up summer blockbuster. Han Solo, I love Alden Ehrenreich's Han Solo. I think for me, this belongs also in C. I don't care if it's above or below Tales of the Jedi personally, but I think it's just middle of the road.
Yeah, we'll call it low C.
Yeah,
low C.
Whatever, you know.
Now towards the bottom of this, we got a banger.
S.
Rogue One S.
S. Immediate S. It's not even. For me, Rogue One is like top 3 Star Wars movie. My ranking constantly changes, but Rogue One always remains somewhere in my top 3. It's one of those, like, I will go back and watch this movie again and again and again. It brought amazing ship designs in, like the U-Wing for the first time, the Imperial droids like K2SO. Brother, why you putting it down to tier A? I can't say enough good about this movie, and it's everyone dies. You don't see that in Star Wars. You don't see that. It's very one of a kind, and it's honestly I think it's Disney's best thing they've ever put out.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'll put it in S for you.
Thank you.
But I'll put it in low S.
Okay, because I'm okay with that.
Just because Disney has done something better. And you know what I'm going to say. We haven't got to it, though.
I know what you're gonna say.
Resistance, F. Easy F. That show is so hard to get through. It is a nightmare to watch.
There's a story from like a couple years ago on the show where I was talking about how I watched it, and somehow your dad watched it twice.
I don't know.
But I remember gripping the bottom of my seat, just painfully trying to just make my eyeballs watch the screen through episode after episode. I think it also might have been partially because I watched the whole show in like 10 days. But dude, it is a rough one. Again, for the same reasons as Young Jedi Adventures and Forces of Destiny, it's not made for us. But the problem with this one is this show is main Star Wars timeline. Like it is still a big, it ties in with Force Awakens and
Ahsoka now.
Yeah. So
Kaz's dad.
It's just like you have to watch it if you want to be a completionist on the timeline. But it's a struggle. So yeah.
If you consume alcohol, you should this will be a drinking game. Watch Resistance, but every time you cringe or want the episode to end, take a shot.
What's the alien's name? The green alien. Because he's like the Jar Jar of the show, but not in a good way. He every time he slips and falls, or Kaz slips and falls, take a shot, you will be hammered in 2 episodes. Just saying. Niku, that's his name. Yeah, he's awful. Hate him.
All right, more Disney Star Wars. We have Star Wars Rebels.
D. No, actually.
Ain't no way.
I think Rebels for me is at either top of A, bottom of S. That's where I'm at. I know you like Rebels a little bit more than I do.
I'll put it below Rogue One and S.
Yeah.
Just because this is the first time that we really see the development of like what the Force can do and the how mystic it can be. This also is what brings Blue Boy into canon.
And
so,
some like the ISB. There's like they brought Darth Maul back. They did a lot of cool stuff with that show. There are some episodes in there that I will go out of my way to go sit down and watch or have like on in the background or something. Rebels is just it's a masterpiece.
It's a really good show.
Yeah.
And granted, the art style does not bother us. Some people will put it probably really low. Some people won't even watch it because of the art style. And we think you're dumb for that.
Stupid.
We really do.
Very stupid.
Yeah.
Very stupid.
So, yeah, if you don't like Rebels, you're dumb and you're wrong. Or if you won't watch it, just
you're a thumb-sucking baby. That's what you are. You're a dumb baby that sucks their thumb and cries and poops their pants.
Did they? So they were doing Rebels manga. That was awesome. And I was going through and getting all of them. And I think they stopped. They should be on 4, but I don't think they, because they stopped at 3, and 3 was like this like weird kind of ending where it like jumps super forward in time.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, I think they ended with 3, which is dumb because I was really hoping that they were going to do all of them.
Yeah.
Just because that would have been an awesome way to go. If you don't like the Rebels art style, but you want a portion of the story, read the manga. It's good.
The manga.
The Mandalorian.
Quick S. Quick S.
Really?
Quick S. Think about what The Mandalorian did for not just the Star Wars fandom, but for the world for Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
That is what put Star Wars on the map. You could forget about all the drama with the sequels.
Put Star Wars on the map again.
Yes. like all the drama with The Last Jedi and what was the Rise of Skywalker going to be like, blah, 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 blah. And then you had The Mandalorian come in and just knock everybody's socks off. I know some people are not as big of a fan of season 3, but Jen and I are watching The Mandalorian through right now. We're on season 2. Bro, they set up that Morgan Elsbeth was a Night Sister from day 1. And I never caught it until rewatching the show now. Morgan Elsbeth like, yeah, my people were all killed during the Clone Wars, and now I'm just like hungry for power. And I was like, that they knew. They actually planned it out from day 1. There's so much stuff like that I'm catching now that I've watched Ahsoka and Mando 3 that were like plot points right from the get-go. So I think Mando is really like Jon Favreau's work, Dave Filoni's work, everybody involved in that show. Just, yeah, I think it's definitely deserving of S.
Yeah, I'll do S. Now that I think about it, just because of how crazy the combination of Rise of Skywalker coming out and The Mandalorian coming out at the same time is what started me back on the tailspin. Battlefront 2 helped a lot. The Star Wars gang in high school was definitely a catalyst piece of it, but to start this is definitely
fire
with those. So I'll put it in S. But the question is, where in S?
I think it's above Rogue One though.
You think it's above Rogue One?
I like it more than Rogue One. But I also like it more than Rebels. That's my thing.
Well, I like Rebels more.
So let's put it in the middle.
We'll put it in the middle.
We'll compromise.
We'll comp. So here's
Ooh!
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Mog Kenobi. What are we going to do about this one?
Yeah, so
this one's a messy one for me because my thoughts on this one are like a roller coaster. I go through phases of liking it and then and then liking it and because the highs are really high in this show.
AKA the last episode.
Anything that has to do with Vader.
And anything with Vader. Like,
yes.
This is the reason I finally, for the longest time, I was like, I like Anakin, but Vader is meh. Because to me, they felt so much like two different characters. This bridged the gap.
Yeah.
So now when I say I love Anakin, it's Anakin / Vader.
Yeah, right.
Being my favorite of all time. Just because it helped like really connect that character into like, because like it goes from what we see in the prequels and in Clone Wars, and then he's just stoic all of a sudden, and it just there was like no connection for that. So that helped solidify that connection and helped make one of my favorite characters better. Is it a good show though?
I know. I'm like, because I would choose Tales of the Jedi and Solo over Obi-Wan Kenobi any day.
Which sucks because Obi-Wan's an amazing character. Darth Vader's an amazing character.
And their character development is great. But there's just so much like extra fluff in that show that I'm like, eh. And then Obi-Wan like breaking into the Inquisitorius the exact same way Cal Kestis did. I'm like, come on.
And them getting out of the Inquisitorius by putting a little kid in a trench coat and nobody notices.
Come on.
Did ChatGPT write this?
D.
I'm
thinking because I don't like it as much as Solo and Tales. But it's like I would put it on the same amount of times I'd put on Visions.
Yeah, you're right. But that's the thing. I'll go back and I'll rewatch that last episode.
Same.
But when I do it, I skip right to
But
the
that's
fight.
one. There were 6 episodes in it. Yeah, that's 1/6 of the show. You know, versus like I would put on any episode of Tales of the Jedi.
I watched Kenobi when it first came out, and then I did the double episode where I watch it twice before we recorded. So other than that, I haven't gone back to watch it. I've only watched the fight again. So I think I have to really make a better decision on this. I should have gone back and watched it.
There's our famous TikTok too, is when Jacob goes, growing up is realizing
that Kenobi's mid. High D. I'll put it above Visions because Visions is cool as an art.
Yes, but it's not Star Wars canon.
Not only is it not canon, but it's like I don't sit down and go, I'm gonna put on Visions.
Right.
This at least has like rewatchability where I want to go back. Do you celebrate Life Day in your household?
Do you like to trip on shrooms in your household?
Do you and your family hold the orb, dress in red robes, and walk through the starry abyss into the next life? Did you watch the Star Wars Holiday Special? So, this one's buried because it's hard to find this.
You can find it on YouTube, but it gets taken down like
all
after,
the time.
Yeah.
So, many people probably watching this haven't watched it all the way through.
I have. Actually, I don't think I have.
I've seen it all the way through.
It's awful.
It's terrible. It's real. If you want to watch a good commentary on it, JonTron. We won't talk about what he's done in his personal life, but that video's funny. So if you want to at least get like the most bits of it that you probably can get on YouTube with a really good commentary of it, watch that.
This is what I will say. No matter how much I think anyone would hate the sequel trilogy, I would still choose any of those movies over the holiday special.
Oh, 100%.
Even though I hate Resistance, I would watch Resistance over the holiday special.
And it sucks because it's all the original cast.
Yeah.
And it's like, it had a lot of potential.
It's filmed like the Muppet Show. That's like, like where just things are happening, you know?
It's during this weird TV transition time.
Yeah.
Where you're just starting to get movies on. I don't think... No, Star Wars definitely wasn't playing on TV by now.
No.
Because so there's this portion like in the 50s where MGM and Paramount have like made this decision like end of World War II where they are like, we can't even show a TV in our movies because it's a competitor to our media. It wasn't until I think after the 70s where they started putting movies on TV.
Yeah.
So this is like, you can't watch Star Wars again unless you maybe have like a Super 8 roll and you can watch one reel of it, or you have the vinyl deck for the story of Star Wars so you can listen through the movie.
Yeah.
So seeing this is just like, it was a big deal. They must have got paid a lot to do that. F. Bottom of F.
I'll just show you this text real quick.
Oh. Oh gosh.
What can I say? He's got that dog in him.
What can I say? The dogs are dogging. So we got Star Wars Ewoks.
You ever watch Star Wars Ewoks?
I did.
So Ewoks is one of those where it's like, I think of that feeling you get when you've been looking at a TV screen for too long and the sun is shining through the window. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you get that weird, like hazy, like almost headache feeling. That I feel like I'm in a pipe dream when I watch Ewoks. I think it's not a good show, but it's a kid's show.
Yeah.
In the same vein as a lot of what's an F tier. I don't care where this goes. Just don't put it above F, please.
So Star Wars Droids.
Star Wars Droids is honestly, I think I like that one less than Ewoks.
Really?
Because it's like, I always thought as a kid, I thought the droids were stupid.
Well,
I appreciate them as an adult.
So the droids, they're stupid, but Boba Fett.
Boba Fett Mythosaur. Right.
Wait, no, that's in the Star Wars
He was
special.
first introduced in the holiday special, but it was very brief.
No, I'm not gonna move that up. I'll put droids above Ewoks just for Boba Fett.
I don't care at all where you put those because I didn't really watch either of them, to be honest.
A and B are really lonely. It's either we love it or it's or we hate it.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's gonna start to get very competitive coming up here.
So now we're moving into Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Now, is this just season 7 or the whole show?
This is the whole show.
Okay. I think it's pretty obvious how we feel about Clone Wars.
Below the holiday special.
It's terrible. It's
an F. What was he thinking? No.
It's pretty obvious. I mean, we grew up with this show.
Yeah, it's our Star Wars. It's what makes us tick.
Mega fans.
High S.
Above Rogue One.
I'm putting it in front.
Easy.
There we go. In front of Rogue. It's a no-brainer. We're cloners.
Anybody could get into the show. You can know nothing about Star Wars, watch this show, and be very invested in the lore of Star Wars.
Especially, I have like memories of like being in elementary school. Like it's a snowy day, but we got to school early because my mom had something to do. So the school like let us inside early, and it's like it's still dark out, and it's just me and my brother, and we're sitting. So the way our elementary school was arranged, it was kind of like a prison. So you had like the library in the center, and then there was like these arms that stretched off for each grade. So we're in the stretch for first grade, and there was like this giant like rug with a blue outline with a black center and then a bunch of dots on it with different colors. And they sat us down there, and they wheeled in the CR tube TV on the cart. And they just threw on Cartoon Network, and it was the episode. It was Bombad Jedi.
Bombad Jedi.
And Jackson and I sat there and like rewatched Star Wars: Clone Wars at like 5 or 6 in the morning. It was super early for no reason whatsoever. I forget why. But yeah, Clone Wars, high S.
Yeah. Now the Clone Wars micro series.
This is where we're gonna debate.
Nostalgia bait for me, because before there was Clone Wars 2008. This was the show that I had on DVD that I literally like ruined the DVDs because of how many times I played them over and over. And it was like I had a Dirge action figure.
That was me with the Jungle Book on VHS.
There you go. Everyone had their one. This was to me what got me into the prequel era, though. It was this and Attack of the Clones really got me into like Star Wars as a very small child. Those are my earliest memories of like the show. General Grievous, but that all being said, I don't think it's deserving of like an S or an A tier, because I don't think that it has the same gravity and value to as Star Wars fan as those. I would put it in B. Because it's good. It's definitely good, and I would pick it over Tales of the Jedi or Solo every day. But then again, it's like I watch it occasionally, you know? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
I think I'd go back and rewatch Tales.
Yeah.
More just because of especially that Qui-Gon story, fantastic.
So maybe we should move Tales up to B. What do you think?
Yeah.
I'm kind of there with it.
Though. Yeah. Both Tales. The Tales series is good. I'm enjoying it, and I want more of it. So now we got the Clone Wars movie, which this
not as good as y'all think.
It's good. This is the first thing that it's the first Star Wars I saw in the theater. And,
yeah, same. Wow, that's crazy to think about.
And so that's 2008. Same year as the live action Speed Racer.
Crazy.
Did you see that?
Don't even know that was a thing.
You
never seen Speed Racer live action?
You need to, bro. It's live action anime. It's nuts. Like this is from the movie.
That's wild.
It's super. It's like very Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this movie and Scott Pilgrim both flopped at the box office, so we don't have fun things anymore. But this is the cover for it.
That's crazy.
I remember it being good, but I haven't seen it since I saw it in the theater in 2008, so it might be trash. There is a good chance that it's trash.
I just watched the Clone Wars movie recently, and it's like, for me, this is one where I'm like, the animation's so dated. Like in 2008, it was great. But when you watch it, knowing what they have now, it's like, do I dock it points for that? And
But
Also,
same
it's
thing,
literally just 4 episodes of the Clone Wars that are smashed together into a movie. So I'm honestly, I would probably put it, D.
Yeah.
But above Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, I'd go back to Obi-Wan way before I go back to this. Just because it's like I know this story so well. You can only see Stinky so many times.
Yeah.
So now we have Caravan of Courage.
All right, bro. I watched these Ewok movies as a kid, a bunch. I remembered them very fondly. Went back and watched them as an adult.
They aren't good.
They are bad.
So I never watched either just Battle for Endor and Caravan of Courage. I did not watch until they added them to the legacy stuff on like May the
Disney
4th
Plus,
last year. And
Battle of Endor is better for sure because there's actually like a fight, you know. The Caravan of Courage is more like trying to be like Lord of the Rings, where it's like a little like, oh, we're a little fellowship and we're traveling across the land and we all have a special ability.
It's trying to be never ending story.
Yeah.
So.
And it feels like it never ends because that's another one that I get that vibe of like you're sitting in the hot sun and the sun's beating down on you and you're just staring at a computer screen.
Damn, I feel like we have a little too much in F.
But look at what it is.
I'm gonna move this one up.
Okay, that's
because this one's redeemable.
So Forces of Destiny.
Forces of Destiny, you can move to D because I wouldn't mind if somebody said watch Forces of Destiny. I wouldn't like want to kill myself. If anybody threw on any of these and there's a loaded weapon in the room, I might not be around anymore.
Hey, bro, I might just open my mouth. Let me just say. Let me just say.
Do you like you like Nirvana? It's like so.
Book of Boba.
Book of Boba.
First one in B. That's where I'm at, dude. I like Book of Boba a lot. We have something in B.
Book of Boba. I'd put it. Where'd it go? I'd put it bottom of B. I'd say I'd put it on top of C.
Bro, I love Book of Boba Fett. I love that show.
I think Book of Boba was all right. The 5th episode where you had Mando and Ahsoka and you saw Clone Troopers back for the first time in live action since we saw them. Like that made me cry.
I don't know, bro. I kind of became a Book of Boba Fett glazer like over the years.
I know. I can tell.
I love that show, dude. Love that show.
I don't go back and rewatch it.
Oh, then
No, I'll put it bottom of B
right,
for
B
you.
Is good. B is
B
good.
for Boba.
It's good. It's fun to watch.
For Fett.
It's a good show.
It's all right.
It's fun to watch.
I think it's all right.
I hope they make a season 2.
I don't think they're gonna.
All right.
So now we're moving into the final line.
Bad Batch.
Bad Batch.
A.
That's respectable.
Bad Batch and A. Contrary to what a lot of people say, Bad Batch is an amazing show.
It is really good.
Getting the story of the clone troopers and things that happened in the galaxy post Revenge of the Sith, like immediately after Revenge of the Sith.
That was really nice. Do you notice how Crosshair's voice is different in season 7 of the Clone Wars than it is in the Bad Batch?
Yes, because they were like, if we're gonna make one guy voice all these characters, we need to make sure we differentiate them a little more.
Mm-hmm. So
it's the Bad Batch. I mean, we just did a whole 16 podcast episodes on Bad Batch. So if you want to see our thoughts, we've gone through almost the entire show. I think we started our show halfway through season 1.
I think we started it like with season 1.
Yeah, I think so. That is such an amazing show, and obviously I'm a sucker for the animated stuff.
Plus, the animation is just getting better, and it's a fun show to watch week to week. It follows some of our favorite boys.
Yeah.
So it's a
Clooney boy.
I wouldn't even think about gracing it with S tier.
No,
I wouldn't even
not
think of that.
No.
But it's good.
Yeah.
If not A, definitely high B.
For sure. For sure.
Andor. Great googly moogie. This thing is juicy. So Andor is a absolute bona fide cinema masterpiece, in my opinion.
It is not a banger. It is not a banger. And I know bangers.
I know bangers. This is a banger. Dude, Andor is the first time, because it's the first time in a long time where Star Wars did something different and succeeded. And I have to say succeeded because The Last Jedi did something different and everybody hated it.
I do think it's funny, though, how many people were dogging on Andor
because of the pacing. Because they're like,
Yeah.
it's so, but and all the same people, because Star Wars Theory said, I like it, and they went, I like it too, I like it too. So
throwback to when Star Wars Theory said, I just don't like bricks and screws in my Star Wars. Is that from that's from my script. Dude, shout out to Wilbon, because he was just dogging on that on his live show this past Monday.
Ugh.
It was too funny. That's from my script.
no, it ain't.
Hey, bro, he's just plugging for views. That's what he's doing. Respect a brother's grind. All right.
But no, I would say Andor easily top of S.
Whoa! No
Easy.
way! No way is it better than Clone Wars.
Easy.
No way is it better than
I'll
Clone
put it below
Wars.
Clone. Well, because it's like you also have to think of it as the way that I look at it now. I look at Andor as not only amazing Star Wars. I look at it as a way like I can learn a lot from it.
I will give you this one. I would put it much lower.
You
But
put it
that's just-
much
I
lower?
would put it below Bad Batch. I liked Bad Batch more. Yeah, I'd put it in A. A for Andor.
I'll put it below Rogue One.
I don't care if it's above Rogue One.
It's going above
I
Rogue
care
One.
if it's above Bad Batch.
I can't believe that.
But at the end of the day, I really don't.
No, Andor is it's amazing story. It's great pacing.
Just make a mental note that Tommy would put it in A, but it can be an S, because I know that most people would also say S tier.
I'll compromise. I'll put it just lower S. But for me, it's up high. If you're thinking it's A, I'll compromise with you.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So now we got one more show. We got Ahsoka.
This show is so good, dude. This show is so good, dude.
I did enjoy it.
I'd put it in A.
I agree. A for Ahsoka. I put it below Bad Batch though.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Those two are honestly kind of interchangeable for me.
They're about the same, but we got live action Hayden. We got live action Thrawn. I'm loving that they're doing the Night Sisters.
Live action Rex.
We got Night Troopers. It's going above Bad Batch. It's going no.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, that's cool.
It has all the member berries that I want. Is the story great? Is the pacing good? But it's tickling my balls, and it's got all the stuff that I really, really wanted.
It's a good story about a master and an apprentice,
Mm-hmm.
especially as a character as Ahsoka, who is also dealing with an unfinished relationship with her own master.
Mm-hmm.
That we get to see this generational passing of the torch. Such an amazing show.
I love it. So now we're moving into the movies.
All right, the main 9.
Do you want to go chronologically? Do you want to go release? Or do you just want to keep going backwards?
I feel like it'd be more interesting if we go in release order.
Okay.
This, because I feel like the prequels and the sequels are a little bit more spicy for some people than the OT. Everyone likes the OT. Just depends on where we put it.
So let's start with A New Hope. I know A New Hope is like your favorite.
Always been my favorite Star Wars movie.
But
Which is funny because I'm such a prequel guy.
But if we're talking to like in the grand scheme of all of the movies, I would say this is high C. High C or low
God,
B.
McDonald's high C.
Well, it's because you got to think it's what started it all, but it's also the most campy out of the OT, and the OT gets a lot better.
See, I feel like Return is more campy than A New Hope.
So
let's look at what's in the list right now. I need to see what's in the list where I put this, because I would watch Ahsoka and Bad Batch over A New Hope.
Agreed.
I would do that. Would I watch Book of Boba over A New Hope?
I don't think I would watch either of these over A New Hope.
I'd put it top of B. Yeah, top of B
B
is good. Top of B.
Because it's like it's middle of the road. It's good. It's really good.
But it's not like, if someone asked me what my favorite Star Wars thing was out of everything, I would not say A New Hope. Honestly, I feel like Rogue One has been probably my favorite Star Wars movie as of late. So all the old heads are going to be, what are you doing?
I don't know. I'm kind of with them on this.
If it was made after 1980, it shouldn't exist.
Empire is like, without even question, it is a cinema masterpiece. It is one of the most influential movies of all time.
I like Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga Empire more than I like the movie Empire. But put it wherever you want because I am a black sheep in the entire fandom on this one.
Are you serious?
I don't hate it. I would probably put it C. Just don't really care for Empire. I don't care for Empire. It's not. Go ahead, make fun of me. Make fun of me.
Empire is S. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Empire is put it in A.
The Mid-Pyre Strikes Back.
I'll put it in A.
No, seriously, no, literally, because the entire fandom disagrees with me. Put it.
Yeah, you're just wrong.
Yeah.
Empire is a cinema masterpiece. It is the first time where you had a sequel to a movie and it was better than the first one.
Yeah, no.
It's what started the idea of a saga.
I accept all that, but I will take my own reality and make it my own. Like that, my opinion is
your
my
headcanon is terrible.
Yeah. It's like,
that blows my mind. Empire
has always been like 6 or 7 on like my list of just the movies. That's where it's always been like middle of the pack. Yeah. Wow.
I love Empire, especially after seeing it in theaters, seeing it with a live orchestra. Yeah. It hits. So,
show enough.
So then we got Return of the Jedi,
which I would watch over Empire.
I would put it in A. I'd put it top A.
That's fair. That's OT. And when I think of best Star Wars to worst Star Wars, my opinion is different than the entire fandom on this one.
I put it top A just because that's the thing. If I'm turning on Star Wars and I just want to like throw it on and fall asleep, I throw on any of these movies, but most likely it's Empire or Return.
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi holds a special place in my heart because I love the Endor sequence. I love speeder bikes. I love scout troopers.
Yeah.
They were my favorite as a kid. They're becoming my favorite again. And it's
Emperor's so good in that movie. Emperor's so good.
Vader and Luke is great. It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
Yeah. All right, prequel time. It's
the 25th anniversary of episode 1, which has me a little biased because we did just see it again in the theater.
And it's so good in the theater.
It's so good. I don't care what you say, Brian Fuller, about it being, the pod racing scene is just a video game, so you can sell you the video game. It's good. I like it.
The CGI, revolutionary in that.
Fantastic.
Sequence. No music for the first whole round of the race. They did that on purpose to show you how good ILM was at what they do.
Not only that, but it helped build the tension of the race itself. It's so good.
Darth Maul?
Duel of the Fates?
Come on. Qui-Gon Jinn?
Getting bodied by
Jar Jar Binks?
I don't know where to put it, though.
No lie. And I just rewatched it recently, too. Like on my TV. B.
But be above?
Wait a minute.
Be above Hope?
C. Because I'm looking at what I would watch. I would definitely watch everything and B and above over Phantom Menace. So I'm okay with bottom of B, top of C.
I would put it like here.
That's cool too. Because again, when it's in the same tier, it's like I have the same level of like, I would watch.
I would watch, but I'm definitely putting on Phantom Menace before I'm putting on Tales or Boba. Like 100%.
Yeah. See, the Star Wars shill in me is like I'm shilling. Everything should be an S. No, I shouldn't. But
so now we got to move to the 2.
I'm in the middle of rewatching Attack of the Clones right now. Attack of the Clones is weird though.
I just rewatched it too. It wasn't as bad as I remembered it.
It's like good, and then there's like the weird parts with Anakin and Padme, and then there's like we're back to like the Camino and like the Geonosis stuff is super interesting, and like Count Dooku and blah, and then we're back to like Anakin and Padme, like Anakin is riding the tick cow, and it's like you're like
blood cow.
It's. But then the third act of the movie is so good. It's so good. The fight between Anakin and Dooku and Yoda and Obi-Wan is like...
I would put it high C, I think.
Because low-key, I would watch Phantom Menace over this. I never felt that way until recently.
And it even with it being like the start of the Clone Wars and that stuff, it's just... That dialogue between Anakin and Padme is a little rough, and it kind of makes it harder. But like, I just watched it again, and Wasn't bad.
Yeah, right.
I enjoyed it. Oh boy, Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, these prequel kids, they love Revenge of the Sith. They love it. They love it. They love it. Top of S. Shut up and die. Shut up and die.
Top of S.
Just saying.
It is a phenomenal movie. It is my favorite movie of all time until it got bumped down a little bit by the Batman.
You just can't watch that movie and be bored.
No, it's fantastic.
And it's like a roller coaster, but not in the same way that Rise of Skywalker is a roller coaster.
No, it's a well-paced roller coaster.
Yes, you're like, and there's so much happening, and especially with all of the content that we've had since its release to add to the emotional impact of Revenge of the Sith. It is like the climax, one of the climaxes of the entire Star Wars timeline. It's just a thing where a million things happen all in one day. And then an entire galaxy changes because of it. So for me, yeah, it's again, like it's getting action figures from this movie was the coolest thing as a kid. It was too cool. You can't go wrong with this in S tier.
Agreed. So top of S.
We have a good amount of S tier now.
It's funny because it's like S is stacked, F is stacked. And now we got the sequels. I feel like this one is going to be the hardest to place.
I agree.
Because,
Force Awakens.
Because here's the thing. I like these movies.
Me too.
But to be honest, as I've grown older and I've moved away from their releases, if I say I'm going to put on Star Wars, I don't even think of these.
High key, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Because I like, for what they are, I do enjoy them.
Yeah.
And we are sequel protectors. We do not dislike these movies. But even with me, Rise of Skywalker used to be one of my S tier Star Wars movies. Not anymore.
No.
It's I enjoy them for what they are, but it's I don't get into them as much as I do the originals.
That's where I'm at. Force Awakens for me though is a great, like, also like you said, a campy like Star Wars movie. Like it's a fun, like, oh hey, I've got a bunch of people over right now, let's put something on for some noise.
Yeah.
If I walked in and I was at a house party or something, or if I'm at a bar and I see that like a pub bar that's on the TV, oh cool, Force Awakens, like I'll like stare at that, you know, while I'm chilling here for a minute. Yeah, I got nothing against Force Awakens. I thought it was a great setup for a trilogy.
But that's the thing. It's just a repeat. It's the same beat for beat as 4, which takes it a little low.
I'd put it C.
I'd put it C, but
yeah.
am I putting it above or below Solo? Because which do I? Because I really like Kylo Ren.
I'm okay with above Solo.
So I'd put it before Solo.
Yeah. Because they're kind of in the same, like, yeah, I'd put it on every once in a blue moon, but I'm not like actively staring at the screen watching it, you know? Last Jedi.
This is a tough one.
Last Jedi, bro. You guys know I like Last Jedi a lot.
You guys know I'm indifferent. I'm indifferent until I start to watch it, and then I just kind of get like, it's
this is gonna be hard for me because I'm super biased towards this one.
I know, and I mean, all the stuff because we've talked about this already
so many times on the show.
Kylo Ren and Rey stuff is awesome. Color palette is awesome. Cinematography is great. I respect Rian Johnson for subverting audience expectations and doing something different. Doesn't mean I like it though.
For me, Luke Skywalker is amazing. I've talked about it time and time again on this show. If you want to get into it with me, join the Discord and you can talk to me about how I'm wrong. But Luke Skywalker's character is so grounded and human for me. It like helped me in a time where I was, kind of struggling with, coming of age and things like that, realizing that your best heroes can make their mistakes as well. And it's just so, but again, it's a slow burn. It's a slow movie that takes place over a day.
Yeah.
Like you feel like you're there for 3 hours of 24 hours. Like that's kind of where. And then there's the whole, like, I don't really, the Canto Bight scene.
Canto Bight sucks.
Lame.
Canto Bight, like, actually sucks.
Lame.
Well, because it's a side trail that avails to nothing.
It's a side trail to make sure that we show that you shouldn't hurt animals. Come on, bro.
And that gambling is bad.
And that racing greyhounds is bad. Come on, bro. Come on. Top of D.
I'd put it below Kenobi. I'd rather, because I can like Kenobi, I'd be like, yeah, I love this because I got Vader and Obi-Wan.
Right.
There's at least some like camp to it, where this is just like, I respect it for what it is. Not a fan though.
I can understand why a lot of people don't like it too. That's my other thing. So like, even though I like it a lot, D tier I'm okay with.
Finally, we got the Rise of Skywalker.
The Riz of Skywalker.
This is a hard one to place too.
Because there's so many. Because we've like made an analogy that this movie is like riding a wooden roller coaster. You're getting jerked around so hard from plot point to plot point because they're trying to wrap up so much in 2 hours and 20 minutes, and you're just flying all over the place. We're just going and there's this thing and there's this thing and this thing. Oh, you remember this from 2 movies ago? Oh, they're all dead. Oh, I am all the Jedi. Blah. And you're just like, you can't keep up. Your brain is like, you have to go see the movie again and again in the theater because there's so much that happens so quick. And then they're still introducing new stuff. Like there's like Janna and that relationship with her being an ex-stormtrooper and that whole group she's with. You have this whole thing. Okay, is Janna Lando's daughter? Like that is like an open thread they leave at the end of the movie. You have Zori Bliss, who's just a new bounty hunter they introduced.
Yeah, Babu Frick.
Hey!
Yeah,
Like,
Exegol. And still 100%, if you don't read that opening crawl or you weren't around to see the trailers when that movie was coming out, it makes no sense.
Palpatine's back.
Just out of nowhere.
That's it. That's all there is to say. That's the tweet. That's it.
It's when this movie first came out, this was one of the catalysts that got me back into Star Wars.
Same.
And I respected it a lot for it. And I really enjoyed it. And I loved seeing Kylo come to the light side. I was a Reylo stan the entire time.
Supreme Leader Kylo Ren helmet too
is fire.
Seeing the Knights of Ren actually in the film,
fire. But it's like, where were we?
We're talking about Rise of Skywalker. Yeah. There's not much else to say on my end. I feel like
there are pieces of it that are really cool.
But it's another one of those that you could like put in, like you could put it on TV, and I'm like, oh yeah, Rise of Skywalker's on. You know, like I definitely feel like it's got more entertainment value than Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Definitely got more entertainment value.
I think it's on par, though, with Force Awakens.
But below Force Awakens. A little bit. For sure.
And before, like, if we did this, well, I think we did do this, like, a couple years ago. And it was, like, pretty high on the list. So... But fellas,
yes, screenshot that so we can post it on our socials.
Oh yeah, download that real quick. So
email that to me. I'll post it.
So this is our list. It's funny. It's like a staircase that just leads to this. It's a giant E.
Leads to the goats.
Oh, we should have had an E tier.
So from bottom of F, list them off.
We got the holiday special at the very bottom. To Caravan of Courage. Ewoks Battle of Endor, to Star Wars Resistance, Star Wars Ewoks, Star Wars Droids, and Young Jedi Adventures for F. D tier, we have bottom is Forces of Destiny, the Clone Wars movie, Star Wars Vision Season 1 and 2. Last Jedi, and top of D is Kenobi. C tier, we got Solo at the bottom, following up with Rise of Skywalker, Force Awakens, Clone Wars 2003, and Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Bottom of B tier, we got Book of Boba Fett, Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Empire, Phantom Menace, and A New Hope. A tier, we're rocking with Bad Batch, Ahsoka, and Return of the Jedi. And in S, from the bottom, doesn't make sense to me. I'm going to move this up. I got to move that. So I'm going to do Rebels at the bottom of S, leading into Empire, to Andor, to The Mandalorian, to Rogue One, to the Clone Wars, to at the very top, Revenge of the Sith.
Chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss. So
this is the correct list if you're ranking Star Wars.
And if you don't rank it like this, you're dumb.
Stupid.
Wrong. So that's our list. Make sure that you guys make your own tier lists at home. Send them in. Let us know why you're wrong.
And also tell us why we're stupid, idiot, thumb-sucking babies.
Or as to what we call it, why we're right.
Yes.
But yeah, dude, this has been fun. Jackson's got to send in his if he ever gets around to it. But thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Hopefully we'll see you guys next week for a little bit of Funningtons before we all split our ways, separate ways. Who sings that? Foo Fighters?
I don't know.
No, that's Everlong I'm thinking of. Journey sings Separate Ways. How did I mess that? Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you liked it, leave a like, leave a comment. Consider hitting that subscribe button and that join button to join level 1313 and support us on YouTube. Make sure that you're not using ad blocker. And support us on Patreon. Every month on Patreon we do a giveaway, and this month we don't know what we're giving away.
Yeah. I still have to do the giveaway stream for May's giveaway.
Oh.
Yeah. Nobody said anything. Oh, well.
I forgot. What were we giving away last month?
It was the new battle pack, the Clone Trooper Lego battle pack with the droids. It's been sitting in my room, just chilling. Yeah. And every time I come into the room, I go, "Oh, I should do that." So my next day's off before the end of the month. It'll happen.
Maybe we'll do you can do a double feature.
Yeah, a double header, double B header,
double B header. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Deuces, y'all.